serve all Nevadans by giving them the connections to the resources they might need. Here's more from JJ in a recent virtual interview.
You may have heard of the great resource Nevada 211. It is part of a national call center and information service, and this resource is available to you. We are so happy today to have David Pointer joining us from Nevada 211. He is a database specialist and he knows a whole lot about it. David, thank you so much for joining us. Before we talk about all the great information that people can access, tell me a little bit about how Nevada 211 is available to everyone across the state of Nevada.
Well, as you stated already, that Nevada 211 is part of a nationwide collection of 211 call centers. Nevada 211 is specific to Nevada, and we've tried to make it as easy as possible for Nevadans to reach out to us. So there are several different methods to reach us. The primary method is to simply pick up your phone and dial 211. If you would prefer not to speak to one of our trained call specialists, then you're welcome to text your zip code to 898-211. That will also get through to one of our call specialists, and they can help you out through the texting platform. We also have our website, nevada211.org. Every single resource we have that's listed in our database is also on that website. So anything that you can find through calling us, you can also find there. We also have a Nevada 211 app and a Nevada 211 youth specific app.
Oh, that's neat. I didn't know you had the youth specific. That's excellent. Yeah, so you have all these call specialists. You, of course, are a database specialist. So when we call, and you've just given us so many easy ways to do that, what kind of information can we access?
Well, essentially, we have the Health and Human Services, which really breaks down to, we have resources such as food or shelter. We have resources for older adults, resources for younger adults, resources for families. An example I could give is perhaps you recently became the caregiver for a family member with dementia. You might be feeling overwhelmed and not know where to go, what to do. We have several resources listed with us that would be able to help you out, from caregiver training to peer support groups to even respite when you need a couple hours off. There's quite a few things we have to offer.
Well, there are more than just a few things. There's a whole lot. And you, being a database specialist, are partly responsible for compiling that list of information. What's it like to be a database specialist? You must learn a lot, actually, about a lot of different fields.
You really do. Just being a database specialist is a never-ending job. My job is not just find resources, but also keep them up to date. So when you reach out to us, you're not finding out information on a food pantry that was from 5 years ago. You want something that's current and up to date so that you know that what you're hearing is correct. That's what I do. But you're absolutely right. I stay in contact with all of the agencies that are listed with us, and I learn so much new because they're the ones that keep their listing updated through me. They keep me informed of any changes that they have. And you learn a lot. You also learn what the needs are out there in the community. It's been rather fantastic.
Yeah, and speaking of the needs, what are some of the areas where your top referrals come from? I'm sure you have people calling about the same subjects over and over, and you as a database specialist, you probably understand, hey, people are really calling to access this set of referrals, so let me make sure those are in tip-top shape.
Absolutely. Our number one information that we get called for is always going to be shelter. And shelter is kind of a broad category. That's not just a community shelter. That would also encompass low cost housing or rent assistance or mortgage assistance. It's a pretty broad category. And by far, that would be our number one most requested category, especially these days when the housing market's gotten so expensive. People really need help out there.
Yeah, for sure. It is a great resource in this time of need, and it's great that you've been so important. Certainly, we've been talking to you more during the pandemic, about this resource, because we want to help people get connected to all those resources that are available to people. If they're great resources in the state of Nevada, people can't reach them, then we're not quite doing our job. So we want to, before we go real quick, David, it's been a pleasure having you. We want to emphasize people can go to the website, nevada211.org. If you could just go through to the other places people can reach you, other than they can also, of course, just pick up their phone and dial 211.
Absolutely. And the Nevada 211 app is another great resource. You can have it on your phone at all times. We have almost 4,000 different resources listed with us, and they're all at your fingertips right there on your phone if you have the app. We have the Nevada 211 Youth Specific app. This is geared towards teenagers, and all the resources listed on there are for that age range and specifically for them. On our website, we have a chat feature if you would like to chat with someone. We try to make it as comfortable and as easy as possible for the Nevadans that call us to get the help that they need.
I was kind of giggling when you mentioned the resource just for teenagers, because I was thinking of what I probably would have called and asked you about when I was a teenager. I was like, do you know where I can get more lip gloss like super quick, please? And do you know where the party's at? If I called and asked that, would you have an answer?
I would not have the answer, no. I'm so sorry.
Well, David, you're a database specialist. I want you to work on that. Thank you so much for joining us. We really love to share this message with the state, David. So thank you so much, and thanks for what you do. Nevada211.org, folks. Of course, you can also reach 211 by just simply picking up your phone and dialing.